Right, a minute early. Thought I was going to be late. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, to all of you who might be out and about and have time to spend with me. It's a pleasure spending that time with you. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of May. We're calling this video Thinking It Through, because we need to operate at a different level. I mean, we literally need to, because every action has a consequence. Einstein said, or was it Newton? Whose theory of relativity? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Was that Newton? Right. But that's reality. We live in a world where, a country where, the actions that we fail to take still come back to haunt us. You're not political, no problem. You're not into politics, no problem at all. Politics into you. The decisions that affect your life, the value of the money in your pocket, the availability of jobs, the availability of finance and credit for your business, the availability of proper schools for your children, security for you to take care of you. All that is politics. Water in your pipe, you're not into politics, well, go study it. You ready? Tell me if you're ready. Tell blacks, brother, you come good, you come better than good, you come gooder. That was a piece of soca. And tell me something, plain talk and bad manners. This is not the sweetest country in the world. Forget the madness, forget the crime, forget the failure of government. But this country though, Trinidad and Tobago, when you look around and what we were blessed with, I mean, there is no other nation in this world as perfect as Trinidad and Tobago. This country is perfect, you know. Look at the rest and what they have to deal with. Trinidad and Tobago is the most blessed and most beautiful nation on planet Earth. We are postcard ready. Trinidad and Tobago is the nation that the rest of the world should be modeling itself after. But that's not happening. That's not happening. We're not thinking it through. We're not thinking it through. We're thinking that if we fight down people and cut off our nose to spite our own face, let me tell you something, that is what you're doing when you vote for these parties. I know you're probably tired of hearing it, yeah? You're probably tired of hearing it, but you have to hear it because you have to know it. Because we had to take responsibility. We're messing it up. We're messing it up. But Trinidad and Tobago, most beautiful country in the world. Most beautiful. Perfect. Chantal Monday just asked me for hi. Chantal, this country, the raw material of Trinidad and Tobago is the most beautiful nation in the world. You can't dispute that. What we've done to Trinidad and Tobago, that is something else. But Trinidad is the most beautiful, blessed paradise on earth. Don't let anybody fool you. You don't have to fix things on a geographical level for Trinidad to look nice. Trinidad is nice. We just nice. You know, if you had a government that had the sense to build an artificial reef between Chaguaramas and Pointe-a-Pitre and let it build itself a coral reef, the water on the leeward coast of Trinidad and Tobago would get crystal clear. Our water black because of what's coming out of the Orinoco. The Orinoco have the second largest flow of effluent out of any river in the world, and it washing straight into Trinidad. That's why Chaguaramas water looks so stink. But if you build an artificial reef, it ain't much money to build an artificial reef, and it's good repurposing of stuff that we're dumping anyway. We're not talking plastics. We're talking about things, concrete piles, steel, things that could build, that they could build on. Yeah, but that takes vision and that takes caring about the people, and unless these people could thief it, unless the hangers-on between Kamla and Keith could thief it, eat it, or screw it, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. They'll stunt for you a little bit. We care about you, we love you. Oh God, they come in and tie a thing on your hand to tie up your mind. I ain't know, no? I really ain't know what to tell you. Everybody feeling the pain. Everybody still want to share videos, share posts. I mean, they have some real nasty stuff people want to share. Let's call the Prime Minister a jackass. I wouldn't share a picture of his head on a pile of dog shit. That's pushing it. I mean, if you listen to the things I say, once these people not in public office, I don't care about them. I don't care about Daryl Smith anymore. You don't hear me call Daryl Smith name? He gone. He gone. He's no longer making a mess of my country. He's gone. I'm not interested in them. The people that I have things to say about are people who pose a threat to my country. I don't really say anyone Michaela and Pandey. All of that is UNC. All of that. All of them stunt. That circus don't cross the Caroni. It does not cross the Caroni. So whether it's 15 Michaela, 19 Kamala, 203 Vasant, and 77 Monilal, all of that, still, like a dog chasing its tail in the Caroni. 16 seats. 16 seats max. 16 seats max. Less if they don't catch themselves. Outside, they need another party. They need a Congress of the people. They need a NAR. They need a something to hoodwink the middle class and the people who outside of the sugar belt. They ain't getting that. They ain't getting that. Everything they try to start stall. People with $30 million watches stall. Pandey done stall already, you know. All the front page Guardian get them, Nicholas Sadler, you son of a bitch, you little stunting jackass. All that they get, all that front page of Michaela hugging up Selby Wilson and thing, all that bullshit, that's circus, that's theater. That's not governance. That's not real. That ain't going nowhere. Imagine Pandey offering Selby Wilson that Selby Wilson could be the Minister of Finance. Pandey can't win a bingo in this country. They have nothing there for him. And what really upset me, is that little girl, Michaela, that's his daughter. Brother, you reached a pimping your little daughter just to get back into office. Nobody wants you. You have nothing of substance for us now. You had nothing when you had a little more youth in your favor. And we give you a chance, and what you did with it? What you did with it? I see you put out a claim to fame document, you build more school, you build more police, but the education system is shit and the police service corrupt and criminal gang. And you take credit for Ish and Steve's bandit airport. $1 billion for a cow shed. I'm trying to make people asses. And I'm feeling sorry for Michaela. Because Michaela, in another life with another family, if she was political, could have get into a political organization and she could learn. And she could find a way. Because you talk to people in the Progressive Empowerment Party, you know, just hear them say every now and then. What I thought politics was when I joined this party and what I had learned in a short space of time and what I know now and what I could do now is amazing. Because we are a fully structured, organized political party. I mean, our communications team right now is the best communications team in Trinidad in any political party, hands down. We own social media, own it completely. The best they can do is come and pelt a stone over the wall every now and then. Instead, we throw it back. But the Progressive Empowerment Party, we dominate social media. We don't dominate traditional media, but traditional media dying. And even so, TV6 Morning Edition, biggest rated show for the year. Check it. Check this. TV6 with Fazir Mohammed, biggest ratings of all their shows for the entire year to date is the episode with me. Check that. You think they don't know that the writing on the wall? You think they don't know that the Progressive Empowerment Party is a behemoth and it is growing a mile a minute? That people piling on? Why? Because at the end of the conversation, when everybody talk about the absence of real policies on all the other parties, they come back to the Progressive Empowerment Party. And the Progressive Empowerment Party has real policies. People are so informed and educated and empowered now, they feel hope. People tell me that. They stop me in the road, in the mall, in the gym. They tell me, brother, you all brought hope back to a dead country. And I understand that. Because where the Bible says where there's hope, there's life. You could believe that the country dead and want to pack and leave. But if you believe that there is a chance, the slightest chance, it'll light your fire. JFK had told his people, we will start a glow of a new generation and that glow will light the world. That's what we're doing in the Progressive Empowerment Party. The nation is burning orange right now. And everybody is happy to know that there are people, they didn't know that there were people who were capable of saying, education, this is how you fix it. And in 5 minutes, this is how you fix the police service. They learn in 5 minutes and they say, wow, it can't be that this information is available. And these other two parties never did it, never said it. They've never proposed it, never promoted it. They've never gone into the parliament and debated it. The maritime security wall would have saved Ashmead Mohammed's life. The maritime security wall, the proposal to build the maritime security wall was on Patrick Manning's desk. Manning, Pandey, Manning, Kamla, Rowley. Manning, Pandey, Manning, Kamla, Rowley. Look at the amount of time that maritime security wall is waiting to be built to stop and search all marine craft coming into the country. And it's simple enough. Trinidad is almost a square. So 4, you could do 6 because the south nasty. But 4, you only need 4. You put 1 by Tobago, say 5. But all you need to do is repurpose oil barges. All we're doing is repurposing oil barges like a platform in the sea, 3 miles out. We're equipping them with fast attack boats, interceptor helicopter gunships. Connect all with a 360-degree radar. So there's a virtual line in the sea. So when you are approaching Trinidad's territorial water, because our maritime security outposts, we have sonar buoys and we have unmanned drones checking our borders, securing it. And it is manned by Coast Guard, Immigration, Police, Army, for anybody you want outside there. But what happens is when you are out at sea and you are approaching Trinidad territorial water, you are communicated with and you are told that you are about to enter the sovereign waters of Trinidad and Tobago. You need to pull aside. We are coming to search your boat. You'll identify yourself, but we're searching every marine craft. Don't stop now. Don't stop. And you will get warnings and you'll probably get a shot across the bow. And if you don't stop, we will sink you. Sink you completely and send the Coast Guard to rescue whoever was on the boat, arrest them and take them before a judge. Because that's how you secure a nation's borders. No more submarine sonar buoys. We have sonar buoys. We can deal with it. So you're building a maritime security wall that drapes like a curtain from the sky straight down to the bottom of the ocean, 3 miles out. Virtual wall. If you cross it without yielding for our authority in our territorial waters, we will sink you. The message that we have to broadcast will be broadcast in English, Spanish, Chinese, German, Dutch. You must get it. You must. And if you say it in here, you will see. Because our interceptor boat will pull alongside you and they will rock a wave on your boat to tell you, hey, you're out of line. And if you don't stop, you see, and I want to say this, Ashmead Mohammed killers still outside there. Curtis Phillip, whose funeral Kamla went to stand by, his killers still outside there. And if this was New York City, both killers, either handcuffed or dead tonight. Either handcuffed or dead tonight. And why can't we do that in this tiny little Trinidad and Tobago? Why can't we secure our nation? Why can't we bring into Trinidad and Tobago a first world standard of policing? The police officers want that. The vast majority of people who join law enforcement, they didn't join to be corrupt. They didn't join to be part of any criminal gang. People who join law enforcement are generally people who want to do better, contribute to a better country. Sorry about that sound, I forgot to turn off the mail program. I think the vast majority of our police officers join the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and then are corrupted and threatened by people above them. That if you don't join the criminal ranks, you could find yourself in trouble. And that's how it works. That's how gangs work. And it's easy to clean up. It's easy to clean up. I asked Trinidad today, when Gary Griffith was Minister of National Security, we used to provide communication service to Gary. And one of the things that made Gary so successful, and he'll tell you this, is that we did something called media monitoring. And what media monitoring was anything that had anything to do with police, army, national security, crime, anything that was being discussed by people in any sphere that could be overheard, we would track that data and send it to Gary. We would say, this is going on. Generally, we would send a recommendation if it required an urgent response. Today, there was a rumor on WhatsApp and Facebook about a white Lancer PDA 9626 with 5 men with guns and a next car blocking your front and back and the T5 car in south and they're robbing people, and a guy from a south group and our Smoins group. So I realized that people were panicking. People were panicking. Now this is the responsibility of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Ministry of National Security, and the Ministry of Communications. 3 people that are paid billions of dollars, and not one intercepted that information. So when we get information like this, because media monitoring means you're on all groups, you're in all threads, and as soon as something breaks ground, puts up light, as soon as something is posted for the first time, we track it. And we check to see if it has substance or if it is trending. If it's dying on its own, you leave it alone. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. But if it is trending, like today, that WhatsApp message, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service was supposed to put out an SMS message on Facebook saying, PDA 9626, that rumor about the white Lancer, we have an all-out bulletin for him, you all don't need to panic, we're looking for it. Or, it's a rumor, it has no substance there, ignore it. People will stop sharing it. People would stop sharing it, but they didn't. Marcia Hope in the Ministry of National Security, we trained her. She trained while Gary Griffith was there. She used to call me crying on the phone saying, Phil, it's Sunday, I'm in church with my 2 boys and I need help because so-and-so going on in the country. And I'd say, Marcia, we on that already. Gary could tell you. When Gary Griffith found out something was going on, it was usually accompanied by something called the Minister's Response First Draft. And we would write a response for him that he would read, edit, fix the suit himself, add what he needed, release it one time. The PNM stunt artist used to say he used to talk too much and they call him Garrulous Gary. But while Gary Griffith was Minister of National Security, there was not one case of panic in this country for anything to do with Ministry of National Security. And when Gary was Minister, Dana Sitahal was assassinated. When Gary was Minister, they assaulted the Besson Street police station, among a couple of things that went on. Real big things went on in Trinidad and Tobago, and we managed it. There was a traffic pileup caused by a carnival party in Chagaramas. We managed that. We had the National Operations Center with Gavin Hero, and he was very responsive. And between him and Gary, the things used to get addressed, but the flow of information and the public was kept in the loop. The greatest example to date that I could speak of was at 6 o'clock one evening, and I can't remember the day, but at 6 o'clock, the transformer station across from Westmall blew up and caught a fire, raging inferno, and plunged the entire west of Trinidad and Tobago into darkness. Now that transformer station, the first responses, the first feedback that we got from TNTEC was that the fire had to out first for them to assess. Fire services said they need a couple hours because of the kind of fire it is. So Trinidad at 6 o'clock plunged into darkness. And the only way to manage that is I parked up on the side of the road outside of the fire and called Jerry Haddy, Minister of Communications. And I asked Jerry, I said, Jerry, I'm going to need you to make a statement on this fire to the people in the West to let them know that National Security, National Operations Center, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service were on top of it, and that the Ministry of Public Utilities was handling it. And Jerry made that first announcement. I gone to Gary, and I told Gary, and I brought him up to speed with what was going on. But by that time, I had spoken to Gavin here, and things were deployed. Things were deployed. In quick time, there were rolling roadblocks coming into and out of the West. I remember it had just started to get black, night dark, and Samson Nanton tweeted, chaos at Crystal Stream traffic light, or something to that effect. I called Gavin here. Gavin said, the situation inspector is on his way. They sent a battalion of police to Crystal Stream. He texted me back in about 4 minutes, Crystal Stream under control. We were able to release that to the public. Continuous releases through the media, through social media. We had the entire media monitoring team up and running. So they were sending out information through Facebook, through Twitter, through WhatsApp, keeping everybody in the know and in the loop as to what was going on, to the point where people just calmed the hell down and relaxed. Now, all the time that's going on, I am in constant conversation with Nizam Bash, who was then the Minister of Public Utilities. And he said, Philip, we're going to try something. We're pulling a cable over the hill, and we're going to see if we can make a connection at the back end of the West and give you power by 9 o'clock. By that point, the fire was out, and it was 2 hours of darkness into the West. And the rumor had spread already that we wasn't getting current back for 3 days. By 9 o'clock, parts of the West started to get current back. And by 10 o'clock, the entire area was fully powered. And at no point did people have to speculate, panic, make nothing. Because the country was run and communication happened. Today, just that. I watch when these people escaped from jail. I watched the panic that went on. There were times when people would send out nonsense. You would hear foolishness. I remember the Ministry of Legal Affairs. They had some talk about terrorists had seized the Ministry of Legal Affairs. That was the talk. By the time it reached us, Prakash Ramadan and them had done shut the building down. So it added to the thing. But we were able to put out a public release saying, no, that's not what's going on. The building is closed, but it has nothing to do with no terrorists. Port of Spain is safe. And that was a Friday evening, and that was it. That was it. Because with information, the public guided, not going to panic. They're not going to stampede. But nothing like that takes place now. And Gary Griffith's ministry, between Gary Griffith and Gavin Hira, they made that whole UNC look possible. They made it look capable. The two of them. Those two organizations, the Ministry of National Security and the National Operations Center. I mean, I could tell you stories. There was a time when people, they had committed some robbery and they were being chased down Western Main Road, and they drove into Econocar down by the boats and hiding inside there. And even the Coast Guard got involved in helicopters. But to watch it work, to watch them handle it, I want to tell you something here. Managing Trinidad and Tobago is so sockeye and simple. And I'm telling you this, it is like this because it benefits the criminals, the top level criminals. It benefits the criminals. You think the regional corporations need 4 weeks to answer a letter asking them, did you grant Kiss Baking Company or Quailo Baking Company, part of Kiss Baking Company, any permission to vend, to have vendors on the side of the roads in the regional corporation or the city corporation that you're responsible for? You think it takes 4 weeks for them to respond to that? No. No, it doesn't. It's broken by deliberate design. People taking kickback. People taking bribe. People getting paid. Today, I said, the only reason Trinidad is not growing food is that ministers are getting bribed to not grow food. Clarence Rambarat is now the Minister of Agriculture. I want him to explain to this nation why he's not growing nothing yet. I went to meetings with people in hydroponics. These people growing in stacked pots, side, tomato, parsley, kale. And I mean, it's growing, and that's all they're doing is growing. We could feed this nation 100 times over. We could drive the price of food down to the ground. But the food importers benefiting from billions of dollars. Massey and True Value and Arima and Price Mart and all of these people, they're selling imported food at 5 and 6 times the price it would cost if we grew it here. When I see tomatoes in the grocery for $8, $10, $12 a pack, and I know that a tomato tree is bearing in 6 weeks, in this perfect country with perfect soil and perfect atmosphere, environment, temperature, you could grow tomato in a warehouse. You could grow tomato in a warehouse. You could stack tomato to the roof and just harvest, and it don't stop. And you set the water on a timer. Listen to this thing, scientific, you know. You set the water on a timer. You could grow in an air-conditioned warehouse in Trinidad. You could grow strawberries. You could grow raspberries. You could grow blueberries right here. Right here. The science exists now. But they don't want you to be able to afford a good life. They need you under pressure. They need you always running. They need you hustling to make ends meet, because then you don't have time to critically think it through. I said today, the only reason people can't own homes in this country is because homeowners can't become slaves. And the 1% need you enslaved. They need your labor enslaved, and they need you enslaved in your mind. And we have to break that. And the reason that healthcare is how it is because bandit companies are bribing ministers to allow them to steal. There is no other explanation. None. This entire country is run by criminal ministers. Understand this now, that are receiving paybacks from criminal businessmen that are members of the Chamber of Commerce and the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association. And there is no organization of state, no law enforcement, no oversight that has responsibility to check this. None. So you're ruined. And as long as you continue to vote political parties into power, willing to take bribes to cut your throat, you'll remain ruined. When you vote PNM and UNC, you put the bullet in the gun, cock the gun and pull the trigger. You kill that boy that in McDonald's, you kill the one with the Uber. You kill him. All of them, 10,000. We want 10,000 shoes. We want 10,000 shoes to put it in a dump truck and pull up outside the parliament and dump 10,000 shoes on the pavement outside the parliament and call Kamala and Keith, come and see what your incompetent bullshit has done. Each pair of shoes here represents somebody that has been murdered in this country. Because of you and your failure. Mad, disgusting PNM and UNC. But they don't get there without your vote. And the question I have to ask you is, are you ready yet to wake up and choose a better country? And I have to ask you that. Because when we tell you that education gets solved, when you zone the schools and you make them 10-year schools and you abolish the SEA and you give each child a GPA so that you could monitor your child's performance term after term, and you could monitor the teacher of your child's class performance year after year, and you could monitor the performance of the principal and the school and the district and the constituency. You could monitor all of that, so you could go to the Ministry of Education and say, listen, my child is in a failing school. Why? Why is that school being allowed to fail? We promise you constituency boards of supervisors, a constituency board of supervisors of health, education, security, public works, and public utilities. Those 5 things are the things that make your life. Those 5 things. Public works, public utilities, education, health, security. If those 5 things in this country functional, everybody can get out your way. You'll hit the stars. You'll go incandescent. We need a government that is willing to be open, upfront, and honest with the people of Trinidad and Tobago and explain to them, this is where we are and this is where we need to go. And listen, a Progressive Empowerment Party government willing to accept a bone dry, empty treasury. I want to show you that all of it is stunted. Trinidad and Tobago has a natural financial stance of about $60 to $80 billion a year. That will change. That will change. So the treasury could be empty. No worries. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. And we know how to deal with international partners willing to come and invest long term. Long term. The Chinese will build a bridge in Trinidad from Togo to Tobago for a 100-year contract. The contract that was signed to lease Hong Kong to the British was 100 years. 100 years, and they counted it. In 1997, it returned to China. Lease was up. The lease was up. The Chinese willing, the Americans willing, the Germans willing. There are a lot of people who have the manpower and the assets and the idle finance to undertake $100 billion project. $100 billion. Because if you built a bridge from Trinidad and Tobago, it would earn about $15 million a week. Easily. $100 million. Easy. Easy amount. That's the kind of traffic that would happen between Trinidad and Tobago. Because they just paid $100 to use the road. And you start off your contract with whoever built it, that until the debt is paid, you get 75%, we get 25%. Halfway through that contract, it becomes 50-50. And when it is repaid, it becomes we get 75% of the toll, you get 25% perpetually. That's an investment. That's an investment. There are countries that want those kind of investments. And to build that bridge, sucker, they will give you every reason. I used to hear people tell Trinidadians, you cannot grow food cheaper in Trinidad than it is to import. And people used to accept that until I drowned them with information and people realized that it is just bullshit, misdirection, deflection, distraction, nonsense, put in the public space to cover the tracks of high-level shirt and tie thieves. There are companies in this country that should go to hell. Their management should go to hell. Satan should be waiting on them for what they have done in this country. And they sit down in the front of the church, the mosque and the temple as if there's really good people, you know. Because they have all the money. Driving a little Cayenne, a little Range Rover, a little Benz and BMW. And they feel that their successful banditry makes them successful people. You're not. You're a criminal. You're just a successful criminal. And you're only a successful criminal because you've managed to convince the political class, the PNM and the UNC, to be criminals too. A complete criminal assault on the most beautiful nation in the world is our 56 years of independent history. In a nutshell. A complete criminal assault. There is hardly a business organization in this country that got to its position of success, legal, moral, and ethically. True talk. Water. We've spent billions of dollars on WASA. Billions of dollars on WASA. I want to tell you something. 41 constituencies, you could break Trinidad up into regions. You could say 4 constituencies make a region, and we'll all 4, you will have your own water generation, water purification, water distribution. So you could end up with 10 WASAs, independent, not connected. Your pipes don't join. You handle your region, we handle. There are water makers in this country where it is even sensible and feasible that you could do it one per constituency. You can actually say, Diego Martin West, you will get your water from the aquifer in Chagaramas, because that water there 15 million years now, and there's water without end, because once rain falls, it is replenishing. And we can pipe that through Tucker Valley over Rich Plain. What's sad, Rich Plain has not had water for 62 years, and Rich Plain is Chicken Jowl and Covine, Chicken Jowl with Tucker Valley, and there is the richest, best water in the Caribbean. And they wouldn't give it to those people, even though those people are the people who keep putting the PNM in power. Sick and sad and disgusting. But for a pipeline. But for a pipeline, you know, Tucker Valley could wet Rich Plain and Covey for good. Water could never done. The Northern Range delivers all the rainfall that we get in the top half of Trinidad and Tobago and washes it straight out into the sea through box drains. And all we need to do is build dams and retention ponds and be able to repurpose that water for distribution. So each constituency or region, depending on what is most feasible and cost effective, you decide you get in aquifer water. Blue Water is tapped into one of Trinidad's best aquifers right now. That's what they're selling. I bought from Blue Waters in this bottle water that I own in that aquifer opposite Johnson & Johnson. And that was a deal that Robert Amar had done. Robert Amar had brought Pernod Ricard to Trinidad, and he had organized for Pernod Ricard, a big spirits company, to acquire that land from Caroni Limited to grow anise in Trinidad. The next thing I know, Pernod Ricard sold the system to Blue Waters, and Blue Waters tapped in the aquifer. But this inside of here is Trinidad water. I don't know the deal, but that same aquifer, Trin City and them never ever have to not be with water. Pure, crystal water. So you could decide, because the Savannah is an aquifer, Chaguaramas is an aquifer, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. There is an aquifer, so we have access to plenty underground water. Plus, we could build retention ponds and we could build dams, and in areas where that is not feasible, we might want to do solar power or thermodynamic desalination. Because a thermodynamic desalination plant will run without power forever and desalinate water and send it throughout the country. There is no way you could tell me the kind of money that we spent on WASA that there are still water problems in this country. The only explanation is WASA has been used as a massive source of stolen money in Trinidad and Tobago. Ask Ganga Singh. He could tell you. He's been dealing with WASA for a long time. He could tell you. Ganga Singh, Mr. Water for All, 20 years now. Ask him. Trinidad and Tobago. And I say Ganga Singh pull up in Pandey Sudo Mekela Lounge. This country should be leading the Western world in alternative energy sources. Between solar power, the largest wind energy generating company in the world has proposed to both the PNM and the UNC to allow them to come and do business here. And both of them have turned it down because Petrotrin is a source of massive theft for whoever is in government. And they don't want to interfere with that. But we could generate electricity in Trinidad and Tobago, Manzanilla and Miaro to power the whole Caribbean. And we could get into that as a business. We could not use any of our natural gas. We could pipe natural gas to every home in Trinidad and Tobago free. Free. Pay for the pipe. Pay for the pipe. The state runs the pipe down the main road and you pay for the connection from the road to your house. $100 a year. $100 a year, earn a little revenue. And run free natural gas to everybody's house. Power the air condition, power the water pump, power the stove. You could send natural gas free that we used to flare, but they don't care. They don't care about the people. If they cared about the people, they would do things like that, but they don't. They see Trinidadians. Look at Colin Imbert. Colin Imbert looks at everybody in Trinidad and Tobago as a source of revenue, a living slave. Pay me. Find a way for your existence to pay me. That's how they behave. And we're not thinking it through. But we're supposed to have free electricity, free water, free natural gas, be leading the Western world in the generation of alternative renewable energies and still have all our oil to sell. We're not thinking it through. We sit down quiet and watching them giving our pitch lake away, the only one of its kind on the planet. We should be rioting for that. That should not be allowed to happen. That is your grandchildren's inheritance. But you don't see it so, because you're not thinking it through. You're thinking that you're not a stakeholder in the country. You've allowed the PNM and the UNC to confuffle your mind, to make you feel like somehow there's a royalty class and you're a peasant. I want to tell you, there is a guy living under Riverside Car Park, opposite Besson Street in Port of Spain, that has massive chunks of flesh missing and maggots, and he smells stink, and he's dying of AIDS. And he is a shareholder and a stakeholder in Trinidad and Tobago. He is an heir to the third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere, and the PNM and the UNC have ganged up on him and stolen his money. That's what they did. So now he bathes in the concrete river and eats what he finds in the dustbin, waiting to dead, because the public health can't deal with him, and the social development system, social services have no space for him. All his money has been stolen. And his share of Trinidad and Tobago has made fabulously wealthy people. Stunters galore. Somebody told me today I sound angry when I speak about these people. I want to tell you something. I want to bring them to justice. I really do. I really do. It's not that I care what they're driving and where they live in. I care about that guy. I care about him. Because they stole his share. And that's not how it was supposed to be. The nation was blessed. The nation was blessed, and everybody, Gandhi said, there is enough in this world for every man's need. There's not enough for one man's greed. And he should have been talking about Trinidad, because Trinidad is overflowing with bounty. There is more than enough in this country for every single citizen of this country to have been living a good life. But for some who have ganged up on you and then use the power of state, use the power of government, use the power of police, use the power of courts to rob you and all of the people of this country. It is not so by accident. Trinidad is not like this because, like Haiti, there is a France that pressed them into the ground and make them pay billions in reparation for slavery because Toussaint Louverture kicked France out of Haiti. That's not why we're suffering. We're suffering because we've had bandits as governments. We're suffering because we allowed the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce, the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association to stunt like real organizations when what they are criminal gangs robbing this country, pillaging and plundering. Downtown Owners and Merchants Association, Trinidad and Tobago has not one organization with clean hands. Not one. And it is time to change that.
If it is that who you're voting, maybe on a road when you
Anton Pope, I want you to pay attention what I'm about to say. Anton Pope, do not engage in any kind of racist talk on my video or my threads or my wall. That comment about the Syrians and the 1%, delete it or I will block you and you will never post on my wall again. This country will not be saved by separating the people by race or religion or class. We have to get our people together, one people under one flag, and fix Trinidad and Tobago. There will be a time when we will be able to identify and prosecute and bring to justice those who have done this country wrong. But do not use this movement for race baiting and race talk. It will not be tolerated. Find that post you just posted and delete it. Delete it, Anton Pope. Do not refer to anybody by race. Please. Thank you. So extend it for 20 minutes, please. All that play, all that bold face, but I like that. Explain to me how it is possible that for the 56 years that we have had control of Trinidad and Tobago, we've not been able to build a single road that stands the test of time, that lasts more than 2 years before it collapses. But the Americans came here in the 40s and built the North Coast Road. They built the Wallerfield Road. They built the Chagaramas Peninsula, all the roads. And those roads are still the best roads we have in Trinidad. Explain to me how that is possible. What did they do that Junior Sammy and Kusals and them don't know how to do?
If they are the reason why the economy goes round, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can float, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building heights, south, east, west, north and south, they say where you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State no finger and vote them out. Rescue the country vote them out.
comment on my post. I had put out to Trinidad, and I will share that now here, because I want you to hear this response and this comment, which was absolutely perfect. And it is just a matter of finding my first post. Ah yes, there is a way. Where there is a will. And I had put this out and I sent this to the media. It's a media release. Not that I expect to see it in Satga News Network or Massy Media, the propaganda arms of the oligarchy that owns the PNM and UNC, that are robbing and pillaging and plundering the country. They can't give me mileage. We've had 47 Saturday meetings, they never cover one. We've had 17 public meetings and 2 protests, all well attended, never cover any. But I don't expect them, but on the blogs, where the real conversations take place, we discuss it there, and I put this out. Media release, soldier police, not the answer. No to political stunts and shots from the hip in the name of crime fighting. No to the nonsense of states of emergency and soldier police. Both the opposition and the government have had sufficient time to consult professionals and figure out how to secure this nation. If they cannot be relied on to pursue such information as a matter of national urgency, trusting them further with the rights and freedoms of law-abiding citizens seems to be an exercise in deliberate stupidity. If neither have figured out as yet, the solutions to crime lie as much in the closing of the nation's borders, the cleanup of the police service, and the incentivization and motivation of what is left after the rogue and criminal elements are purged from among their ranks, as well as the proper management of the social fabric, the focus on job creation, the closing of the cost of living gap that transforms the minimum wage to a living wage, and the creation of hope and opportunity for all and not just the well-heeled and well-connected. We would have again as theatre to sell newspapers, government booths terrorizing the poor via lockups and lockdowns. The people of this country are incensed at the lack of real leadership emanating from the parliament, the boorish bacchanal and noise that has replaced sensible debate on real issues, and are fed up beyond the realm of circus soundbites as solutions. We need public consensus, symposiums on social development and management, but more than anything, we need to see white-collar criminals dragged before the courts, prosecuted and jailed for their crimes against the people. We need to see the political and business class that have raped this nation for decades stripped of their sudden fortune, the contractocracy and their co-conspirators in the professional class of lawyers and accountants brought to real justice and made to serve out long sentences for their criminality. Then, and only then, will those on the bottom, led by the criminal successes of those on top, believe that crime does not pay in Trinidad and Tobago. Until then, all the security policy by VAPs in the world will not help. It's time for focusing on education, healthcare, and home ownership as the solutions to crime. Community development, proper service from the public service, and real value for money. It is time to rein in the rapacious banks and end the gouging by businessmen. All of that contributes to the culture of crime plaguing our nation, and further arming and unleashing government cuffs and government kicks will not get the results nor the response either the opposition leader or her opposite number in the parliament believes. I would caution what we do next, that it not look like tax dollars are only to be used to prosecute bottom of the ladder criminals, while friends of the government run away with the dish and the spoon. This is the response that was put, and the person didn't sign it, but I had to share it. Because all of this is in response to Kamla Persad Bissesa's stunt that giving soldiers the power of arrest is a solution. It's not. Here's why. And there's something called posse comitus in the United States of America. It's an actual law that prevents the United States Army from being on United States soil. It prevents the states using their own army against the states, and you can research that. Frightening and astonishing that a disgraced former prime minister who was kicked out by the people, squandering a 29-12 electoral victory, losing 8 consecutive elections, taking licks like a bubbly who still wants to come back to the people for another mandate, will call for powers of arrest to be conferred on soldiers. Doesn't this self-appointed senior counsel, a former prime minister and head of the national security, understand the peril to our democracy if soldiers are given the power to arrest? Does this former prime minister fully understand the ramifications of this? Does the former prime minister ask herself why police are given powers of arrest and no one else? Does the former prime minister understand the structures and processes in place to manage, monitor, control, and regulate this power given to the police? And even with all these checks and balances, there are still too many abuses of this power by the police and also politicians and the 1% who entice, seduce, and intimidate the police to do their bidding. Does this former prime minister ever ask why nations all over the world never, except in rare circumstances, give the army and other components of the law enforcement forces powers of arrest? It is amazing that this former prime minister and the current prime minister do not want to face the brutal reality. Guns, drugs, illegal foreign exchange, etc. have been pouring through the porous borders and legal points of entry, and neither the former prime minister nor the current prime minister have implemented measures to stop this. Why? The answer to that question may shock the nation. Also, ask yourselves, people, why PNM and UNC governments have not implemented full scanning and surveillance at all ports, all containers. That's not hard, like how diversification is hard for the PNM. That's not prohibitively expensive. That's not high-tech. And that's not an uncommon measure all over the world. So why haven't they done this? These questions and the answers go to the root, the source, the really frightening truth about the surging narcotic criminal activity in Trinidad and Tobago that has permeated every sector of this society, especially the financial sector. It is even more amazing that one of the most successful crime prevention measures deployed by both PNM and UNC governments, police army patrols during carnival season, is not implemented throughout the nation throughout the year. There was a time when there were temporary and mobile police army posts and they did a great job, and there was never the need to give the soldiers powers of arrest because it was not needed. The police and army worked together and the police arrested when necessary. Why can't we have that today all over the nation in communities? Police army patrols working together with the citizenry, NGOs, etc. Why not more police army posts at strategic locations? A tried and successful crime prevention measure throughout the world is to increase the number and visibility of police and police army patrols when there is an upsurge in crime. This is not a secret. It is one of the first measures that is implemented, except in Trinidad and Tobago, where the Prime Minister and a gang of lochos are in far-off countries looking at ferries. The Chief Justice is on vacation. The Acting Commissioner of Police is totally clueless. And the Minister of National Security may be in hiding or in court abroad, or on vacation, or with the Prime Minister abroad, or attending a conference abroad, or a cruise. Who knows? And it's sad, because everything that person had to say is an absolute fact. And the fact that we are not having those conversations in the media, that all those talking heads, the David Abdullahs and the Kirkwaits, and the people who want to form pact, and the Michaelas and the Basdeos, they want to come and stand for you, but Carlos John and Gangasin and even Gassan Yosef, who are sitting in the front row, former Mayor of Arima, all of these people have to be called out. You're just stunted to bury Morgan Job. Life ends. Life ends. We need to do the best we can with what we have while we're alive.
Tell me what I'm fighting for. Who are they killing for? We don't need no more now, so tell them wicked people. Fire go Bundy, fire go Bundy. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Bundy, fire go Bundy. Oh, silly boy, when mother gone, another one just gone.
I have to interrupt that song to bring you a very important public service message. On the 30th of June, the Progressive Empowerment Party is having a fundraiser, Curry Q, at 19 Stanmore Avenue, our headquarters, and it's being catered buy the best roti in the world, Roti Cafe from Santa Cruz, and the choices are for $60. I mean, it's lime and it's drinks, I have hiccups. And Tassa and entertainment, I have hiccups. And it's $60, and the choices are beef, chicken, veggie. Or you can special order oxtail and lobster, and they will organize that for you. Tickets are limited. If you were at the barbecue last year, you know it sold out and it was a really good time. This is going to be another good time, because after this, the next event we're going to have is a Chinese Q. We're already dealing with Cooking Vibes from Woodbrook, and it's the best food that we could get that we bring to you. So please reach out to any member of the Progressive Empowerment Party. And the last time I announced this, Roger Chin bought 40 tickets to give away. And I think I need to acknowledge him for that, Roger Chin from Movietown, and I thank you very much for that. And anybody else who would like to buy, because his tickets are going to give away to the homeless, and that's really, really nice. And anybody else who would like to do that, if you don't want to take part, but you would like to help with the fundraiser and at the same time be able to feed some people in need, that's a win-win. So if you want to contact me to buy 20, 40, 60, 100 tickets, 100 tickets is $6,000. And that will go to feeding a good amount of people. So reach out to me, message me directly for tickets in bulk, and I will make sure that Satish Ramsaran comes to you with your tickets and a smile. Yeah?
Buy a bigger chest and smile. Say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. You're so careless that night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man who seek a woman and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, nah. You ain't no bad man. I real bad man must make his own decisions. You don't need anyone. He only needs God. You ain't no bad man, boy, nah. You ain't no bad man. So, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people from wicked and evil. So, sit down, rock back. Big man up for a walk. You could have evil. If it is just my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh, silly boy, even mad at God. Tell me what they're fighting for. They're fighting for. They're killing for. We don't need no war. There's no need. So tell me what they're fighting for. They're fighting for. They're killing for. We don't need no war. I said we don't want no more. I bad man don't go and raping woman, influencing young ones to kill a boy now. He ain't no bad man, boy now. He ain't no bad man. I real bad man works for whatever he wants, and he don't need no gun. He full of joy now. That is a bad man soldier. He ain't no bad man. So sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend no people. I'm wicked and evil. So sit down, rock back. Big man look for a walk. You could have evil. If they distress my people, then fire go burn them. Fire go burn them. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love.
Fire upon them. Pepper upon them too. 347-4PEP is the hotline for anything, any guidance, advice, anything you need. You want to make a donation to the party, email, message, call that hotline. Anything that you want to do, you can message me and I'll put you on to the right person. Please, I want to ask with love. I'm saying this with a lot of love. Please, stop sending me chain stuff. Stop sending me the blessing stuff. My inbox is a critical tool for the work that I do. So when you do that 2-3 times, I now have to block you from sending me any more messages, and that interrupts our ability to converse. I know you want us to reach out and to say, hey, you know, liking what you're doing and supporting. All that is cool, but you don't need to. There are other ways that you could assist. We need volunteers. We need help. We need people sharing the message. We need people working on the ground. We need people working the telephones. We need people taking the flyers and going every single evening, one house at a time in your neighborhood, to sit with the people and say, listen, there is hope for this country. Let me show you how. We need that. I want that more than you sending me any kind of loving, blessing, greeting, any of those things. If somebody send it to you and they tell you you need to see it, trust me, I've seen it 100 times before you got it. Don't forward it to me. Use the conversation tool of the message facility to message me information that is critical, that is helpful to the mission that we're on. We're on a serious, serious mission, and I do not like to block people. I do not like to do that. I do not like to turn off the ability for you to message me, because there could come a time when you have something to tell me and you can't. So let's not abuse that. To the people who come on the threads to cuss and stunt and abuse other people, you get blocked. You will get blocked. But why do that? Because you're just turning off an avenue of learning. You don't have to agree with us, but at least learn something now. Learn how the country works. Learn how the country could be better. Take the information that we put out for free every night. Take it to your party that you support and say, hey, you know what? I'm still supporting you. But Christ, give me water now. I'm supporting you 50 years now. Let me get some water in the tap more than one day a fortnight now. Seriously. 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 And I'm saying it again. I'm saying it again. Do not abuse the messenger. Don't abuse it on WhatsApp. Don't abuse it on Facebook, because I have no choice. Because of the volume of messages I get, when people send me messages that are not in keeping with what we're doing, I have no choice but to turn off your ability to message me. So unless you want that to happen, but that's the reality. Back to this. We need your help financially. Somebody had volunteered to pay for the duty on the PA system, and I appreciate that. But we've not followed through as yet, so I'm waiting to see if she would. If not, I'm going to come back to you on that, because somebody donated the PA, so we never have to rent a PA again. We just now have to cover the $2,100 for the duty. And if you are interested and you would like to help with that, you could reach out to Felicia Holder, and we would appreciate very much either the full amount, a piece towards it, anything that you could help with. We're launching a television show, and anybody who would like to get involved and sponsor, and you could actually have your brand. Anybody who goes to Roti Cafe will tell you. They'll tell you that in the line, every other person will say, I know about here because of Philip Alexander. My recommendation gets business. If you would like to have your business recommended on our show, we do a radio show on a Sunday morning on 104.7 called Wake Up Call from 8 to 10. Myself, Janice Lemon Cricky, the PRO of the party, and Anthony Lifu, Pep Media Director. But we're going to be doing a television show, but I can't tell the station yet until the ink on that agreement is dry, because they have so many haters who would like to make sure that they stop that message from going out. But anyway, if you would like to help with that, and you would like to contribute towards that, and you would like to have your business mentioned, it'll be a ratings giant. It'll be our next monster. We post. I had to prove a point to a journalist. I said, I get more likes for a picture of my big toe than you get for your post. And we post a picture of a big toe, and it get thousands of likes. And the people were happy to prove the point too. And we're not trying to be ridiculous, but we know what we're doing. People know. People know. No. There's only so much ass talk you could hear about somebody before you say, wait now. I watched that man for the past 16 months pour out his life for this country. I watched the members of the Progressive Empowerment Party slave to build a party unfunded with a media blackout, doing the most thankless, sometimes the most hated of jobs, and do it every single day. This afternoon, the PEP management team and those abroad piped in via the online facility met again to plot and plan and organize every single thing required to take this party to be the organization that it needs to be, to give you the country that you need. We need your help. We need your assistance. We need money. We need money to fight an election. We need money for advertising. We need money for promotion. We need to get this information, because you know when you hear that the policies are spot on. You know this will fix Trinidad and Tobago. We literally have two choices. PNM and UNC is two sides of the same coin. You either stick with that cancer or you vote for real change. The Progressive Empowerment Party is not the Congress of the People or the NAR or any of these breakaway factions or misguided souls looking to try and link up back. That is not us. We have no interest in being a part of anybody else's caravan. The Progressive Empowerment Party, we are a standalone people's organization, a movement of Trinidadians and Tobagonians who want a better country. It is time to fix all the things that need fixing, and we're not going to do that by pretending that what's going on in the parliament, that is anything that like something that works. Nothing in Trinidad and Tobago works. Nothing. We need change. And we need massive change. And we need change that we could use. We need no more stunts, no more shoot from the hip, no more vaps, no more foolishness, no more lies and deceit and deception. We need no more 1%ers and contractors and financiers robbing and pillaging and plundering and consigning you and your children to lives of squalor, desperation and poverty. We need to fix it. We need to fix it. This message is not for the very wealthy. You're good. Fix your mix. And if you're very wealthy and you see the benefit of a real patriotic intervention in your country, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. But this is a rescue mission. Too many people in this country are dying. Too many people in this country are suffering. Too many people in this country are acting out of panic, out of frustration, out of terror. They have nothing and there's nobody looking out for the people of the country. We need to fix that. We need to undo and redo. We need to reboot the republic. We need a government that works. A proper government that works with proper plans and proper policies built on people. Come and see. This Saturday at noon, come and see who make up the Progressive Empowerment Party. It's people like you. Real good, down-to-earth, Trini people who wanted back to a time when all of us could have shared this country. Nice, and we could get that back again. We could have that again. We need your help. We need your volunteer. Join the party. Buy the merchandise. Make a donation. I am reaching out to people tonight. If you could buy 100 tickets from me for the curricule, message me. I'll either advertise your name for you or we could keep it between us. However you want to do it, it helps the party. It goes into the consolidated fund to do all the things that the party does. We are also planning a members meet and greet. You need your membership card to get in, and that's all. It's free of charge, and we're going to provide plenty of entertainment. The party members are going to cook for you and serve you. It's going to be all about the members, and we, the team, we will be there working for you to serve you, to pour your drinks and serve your food. And so make sure that you get your membership card. If you've already joined and you've not gotten your membership card as yet, message peptrinbago@gmail.com, or you could call 347-4PEP, or you can message me. But I prefer you use those avenues before drowning me with the info. But if you do, I'll forward it. And if you're sending me information, include your mobile phone number and your email address. PEP app, the PEP APP app, is available on all the app sites, free of charge, download. It's another communication tool. And peptt.com is the website. So, yeah. That's about it for now. Tomorrow is Frontline, and I am not certain what they're dealing with as the topic for tomorrow, and I apologize for that. But Frontline is always a good show, and tomorrow I think Felicia Holder, chairman of the party, is hosting. She's back hosting together with Anthony Defoe. So that's about all I have for you right now. There is a meet and greet in Florida for all the members of all the Chinese in Florida on June the 9th. Please reach out to Abigail Sidinan, John Paul, Nathaniel, Carla Jean. You can reach out to me, reach out to Felicia Holder. Of course, reach out to Ali G. She's the head of all the overseas chapters. And Florida is going to have a nice meet and greet and a line. So come and be a part of that on the heels of the successful Toronto Mother's Day dinner. And New York City had a brunch this weekend gone. As you could see, we're working very, very, very hard to build you your party. I apologize for that. To build you your party. Come on board and help us finish this rescue mission. Yes? So, I doubt there'll be a video from me tomorrow, but there is Frontline. So tune in for that and stay safe.